Overcoming myths and objections. We know we're moving this year. We've already given the landlord our notice. Now, you may have a tenant that you run into that says, yep, we've already given the landlord the 60 days notice. In fact, we've already signed a lease in a new space and we're definitely leaving within 60 days. So what do you say? Well, first of all, great, where are you moving? Let's talk about upgrading that new space, perhaps even in the context of your new landlord's fit-out allowance. If you're familiar with the way leases are typically done in commercial and non-residential settings, if you sign a lease, the landlord very commonly gives a fit-out allowance to help you pay for the physical improvements to make the space more appropriate for your new use. You don't see it in apartments, but you see it in commercial spaces all the time. Oh, and by the way, may I please have the contact information for your current landlord? Perhaps he or his new tenant would opt to do this upgrade here after you leave. So, a utility rep years ago complained to me, I hate it when I talk to a customer, she said, and they say, oh, we're leaving. I thought, what a missed opportunity. I'm thinking, are you kidding? It's a twofer. You get two of them. First of all, you get to upgrade the space and where they're going. And two, you get the contact information for the landlord who will probably introduce you to the new tenant, or they may decide to do the upgrades out of their own nickel so that they can lower the operating expenses on the building so that whatever fixed base lease they sign with the new tenant will have a lower embedded operating expense obligation for the landlord. What I just said may not mean a lot of sense to you, but there are other lessons within Selling in Six that talk specifically about the concept that I just mentioned. So definitely don't leave any stones unturned. Don't take any default, any sort of knee-jerk response, and don't give a default reaction like, oh, you're leaving? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Well, maybe we'll cross paths at another time. Definitely, you need to squeeze the lemon or squeeze the olive twice. All right, maybe the metaphor I'll stay with is the lemon. Squeeze the lemon to get the lemonade. Don't just say, oh, there's a sour lemon, the person's leaving. There's a lot of lemonade in that lemon. There's the upgrading the space for where he's going, and there's also upgrading the space where he's vacating. It's interesting how perspective determines everything when you're dealing with these objections.